Tunja Ecogeneration in collaboration with Climate Educate. Let me introduce myself to you. I'll be working as facilitator for the today's program, and I'm Kusal Naharki from Nepal. I'm the winner of Eco Hero Award 2018. I'm also working as regional ambassador to Asia for Tunja Ecogeneration, which is the collaborating partner for today. Tunja Ecogeneration is the online platform by United Nations Environment Program and Samsung. Along with that, I'm also working on as Youth Advisory Group for Youth Power to Learning and Evaluation, which is a project of USAID. And along with that, I'm also working as the project member for ETO Climate Educate, which is also a collaborating partner for today's webinar. So we'll be starting with ice breaking at the first. So for the ice breaking session, let's introduce ourselves with the climate. So I request all of the participants to rename your name using a climate word that describes you the best or that comes in your mind immediately. So as of my name is Kusal Naharki now, I'll be renaming my name to like Kusal Naharki in bracket cloud or using an emoji like sun. For that process, you can click on the participant icon at the bottom of the window. You will be also redirected about how you can do this in the chat box also. And after you click the participants list at the bottom, you can see all the list of the participants. And if you hover over your name, you will be allowed to see the option called rename. And you can click on your name and add a bracket and add a climate word that describes you the best. So dear participants, I request all of you to rename your name using the climate code that suits you the best. I can already see few of the participants have renamed using the climate word that comes to their mind immediately or that describes you the best. For example, I've used myself as renamed as Kusal Naharki in bracket rain. So you can use any climate word that comes to your mind immediately or that describes your characteristics. Like you can use sky, like I like to fly high, or rain, I like flowing and keeping all the cool. But you can also use the other emojis that are available in your keyboard, like sun, I'm as hot as sun, or like frozen, I'm as frozen as ice. We can see very interesting names that have been kept by our participants. Would you have the next ice breaking session? For the next ice breaking session, you will be provided the link in the chat box. So please refer to the chat box. In this ice breaking session, we'll be using a Mentimeter. So you need to click on the link that you are being provided in the chat box and list your 3 favorite climate related words. Dear participants, please refer to the chat box for the link and you'll be redirected to a link. As you can see the picture in the slide, you will be having the same image on your screen, which is the link to Mentimeter, and you will have the space to enter your 3 climate related words. If you are worried, what should you rename yourself? We have few of the words for your suggestion. You don't need to be worried. Like the weather parameters, like is it rainy, hot, cool, or humidity, temperature, precipitation. As as the webinar will be mainly focused on climate change, I think the mostly used word will be climate change itself. So I request all the participants to click the link on the chat box and share their favorite climate related words. These are few of the suggestions for you guys, like greenhouse gas, meteorology, rainfall. You can also use different ecological aspects that comes in your mind, like biodiversity. I'm sharing the screen with the results of your course that you have been used. We already have more than 15 participants sharing their views, and the more word you use, the larger it will be displayed on the screen. So currently the word biodiversity and the climate change have been used frequently by the participants. We can see words like actions, youth, climate resilient variety. That's very interesting. So during the process, if you have not renamed your name for the newly coming participants, you can refer to the message in the chat box for how you will be renaming your name in the participant list. You can see most of the participants have renamed themselves, but for the newly joined participants who have joined recently, we had the first ice-breaking session in which we will be renaming our name with the emoji that describes the climate or the code that describes the climate. And for the second ice-breaking session, you will be redirected to the link using Mentimeter, where you will be sharing your 3 codes that comes in your mind immediately when you hear the climate. The result displays that biodiversity and the climate change has been used by the most of the participants. Now we'll be moving toward our 6 sessions. After the ice-breaking session, we'll have the introductory session, followed by the different session, interactive session like quiz session, as well as you'll be redirected to different link for your interactive participation. So to keep it engaging, I request all the participants to keep their camera on, but sound to mute, so that you can see how the other participants are reacting during the presentation going on. So our first session will be on climate change, its introduction, causes, and impacts. Before going into what the climate change really is, we'll start with few of the terminologies related to the climate. The first few words that comes when we talk about the climate is weather and climate. Generally, they are used synonymously, but they are the different terms. If we talk about weather, it is about a short period of time what is happening in our atmosphere, like the temperature, humidity, precipitation, cloudiness, and the wind that we experience. It is generally for a very short period of time. But if we talk about climate, it is the average weather condition for over a long period, more than a decade, around 30 years to 50 years in a region. And there is a word called climate variability. You can take it as middle between weather and the climate. At weather, it takes for the short period of time, and climate is the average of a long period of time. Climate variability means the change in the nature of the climate between over a month to the decade. For the example, we can take as El Nino. For describing it more briefly, we can say it ENSO, ENSO. EN refers for El Nino and SO for Southern Oscillation. It is actually a natural phenomenon happening in the equatorial region, in the Pacific region, where we experience most direct heat from the sun. Due to the large amount of the heat it experiences, there are different natural phenomena going on, like trade wind, which directs the climate activity of that region. So due to the activities and the oscillation of the air in that region, climate variability occurs due to the natural phenomenon between the period of months to years and a few decades in those regions. And you can see two words being highlighted at the side: meteorology and the climatology. Meteorology refers to the study of climate, whereas the climatology word itself describes climatology is the study of climate. So talking about the climate cycle, it's very common as most of us study about it in our school itself. So we know that the climate system is complex, from starting from the rainfall, it falls after the vaporization and the heating of the water bodies. So there are several components that are interrelated for the climate system. Like the heat comes from the sun that heats the water bodies, water vaporizes up to the cooling and falling it as the rain. So there are different systems interconnected, from heating of the bodies, evaporation, precipitation, and the rainfall during the climate system. So climate system is considered as a complex system of interrelated components. So now we will go into the main topic: what is climate change? As I stated it earlier, climate is the average weather for a long period of time, typically 30 years to 50 years. Generally, we expect climate to remain constant over a period of time, but climate always does not remain constant. It changes. If the climate changes from the natural phenomenon, we call it as the climate change. So there might be a question: is climate really changing? There are several evidences that suggest that yes, the climate is changing now. You can see the two images being displayed on the screen. One is from the year 1914 and the next is from 2004. You can easily see the visible difference in the glacier Portage Lake of Alaska. This is just one example of climate change. If you open or view the news daily, you can see several examples every day in the news section, like what the climate change is really doing, from decrease in the snow cover to glacial retreat to global warming to extreme climatic events like rainfall. These all are happening currently. So there are several evidences saying that the climate change is happening now. There will be a question: is climate change happening only now? The answer is no. Climate change has occurred in past too, but the climate change in those phenomena were natural, not the artificial like now. If we talk about the ice age, during that time, the snow cover from the northern hemisphere had moved to the southern hemisphere. And during the Eocene period, which is regarded as very warm period, during that time, almost all of the glaciers of the world had melted. And that was mainly due to the greenhouse gases present on the earth during that time. But due to the natural phenomenon, all of these gases were sink into the earth's surface and below the ocean surface, and which created the favorable environment for organisms to grow and live in the planet. But what we have been doing now is the major concern. All the climatic change in the past that has occurred were due to the natural phenomenon, like the isotopes of the gases that were formed, or the greenhouse gas already being present on the earth, which were seen to the natural phenomenon creating a favorable environment. but our current human influence can be seen clearly in the climate. From pollution from coal, natural gas, and the oil that was sinked into the Earth's surface, we have brought them back into our use and released them into the atmosphere, which has resulted into a change in our climate system. If we talk about the current status, there are more than 500 million cars being used in the world right now. And if we refer to the that has been predicted, it is going to be 1 billion by 2030. So the pollution that is being created by the cars is going to double within 10 years. And after the pre-industrial years, the carbon dioxide and the various gases released from the industries has increased rapidly. So as the amount of the carbon dioxide increases in the atmosphere, it directly impacts the climate system. So we'll be seeing how carbon dioxide is related to changing the climate. So one more thing that I forgot to tell is the one more thing that has created to climate system impact is deforestation. The trees are being cut down rapidly around the world. As I speak for the next 1 minute, around 27 area of field of size of football field is being cut down in the world. You can imagine how large the size of the forest is being cut every minute. Forests are considered as the sink of carbon dioxide. As there has been deforestation, the forest that absorbs the carbon dioxide and sinks it is also decreasing, which has resulted to the more amount of the increase in the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. What does the carbon dioxide really does? The greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide created the impermeable layer in our atmosphere, which allows solar radiation to enter into the earth, but it does not allow it to escape. That results the solar radiation that comes from the sun to be absorbed by the earth's surface or to remain on the earth, which increases the temperature of the earth, which is known as global warming. The greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide form the impermeable layer above the earth's surface. And the phenomenon by which these greenhouse gases trap the heat coming from the solar system without allowing it to escape from the earth, hitting the planet is known as greenhouse effect, which results into the global warming. And this is the graph showing how the temperatures are increasing rapidly with the increase in the CO2. The graph shows the concentration of carbon dioxide and increase of temperature from pre-industrial years. From 1750 to 1850, we considered it as the pre-industrial year during which the many industrial revolution took place. As the industrial revolution has taken place, there has been rapidly increase in the amount of the CO2 emission. And the graph clearly shows as the amount of the CO2 emission has increased between the years, the temperature has also risen. Currently, the temperature, if you consider the temperature to be 0 during 1850, it has risen by 1.2 degrees Celsius till now. And we expect it to rise much higher if the current situation persists. So who is responsible for releasing so much carbon dioxide? The answer is very simple, the humans. Humans are considered as the most superior people on the earth. But what we have been doing, being the superior, is harming the planet that we have been living. You can see on the graph, the green line shows the natural drivers for the increase in the surface temperature of the earth. It has remained constant over the time. But the red line shows human drivers for the increase in the climate change. So the graph, both black and red, are going very much higher. So the factors the human beings are driving has resulted into the increase in the global surface temperature. So 97% of the world climates have agreed that there is global warming and the climate change is happening, and climate action is the current need of the time. So what does the increasing temperature really offer to the climate? So as there is increase in the temperature, there will be changes in the rate of the precipitation as well as temperature. As you can see in the first graph, when there is normal temperature, there are cold temperatures and the hot temperature extremes are very less. As you can see on the slide, the cold temperature extremes and hot temperature extremes are very limited, with the average temperature to being very high. And talking about the precipitation and the rainfall, we often experience the light rainfall that is useful for us, and heavy precipitation occurs very rarely or very few. But as the temperature increases, the phenomenon shifts. There will be more record of the hot weather. So as the temperature increases, there will be a warm earth and more record of heat stresses and the hot weather. And what it results into the precipitation is you will be having a more heavy rainfall. As you can see, we had very few amount of the heavy precipitation, but now the heavy precipitation has resulted into the more amount, which will lead to more amount of the flood and the landslide. But the light precipitation that is useful for us decreases. That will also result into the factors like drought. And when the rainfall occurs, or heavy rainfall occurs, which will result into the flood. So resulting in extreme climates that is not useful for us, resulting into the other factors like landslide, as well as increase in the risks of the disease and the extreme events. So what are the effects of the climate change? The effects of climate change has been offered to the every sector possible as far as we have been concerned. From melting ice to the rising sea level. The data suggests that we are having the rise of about 8 inches of sea level in the last century. The countries like Maldives and the cities like California, which are very near to the oceans, are in the very risks. As the global sea level rises, the land cover will be covered with the sea. And there will be changes in the precipitation pattern. As I said, so the graph earlier, we'll be experiencing a drought for the longer period of time, and when the rainfall occurs or heavy rainfall occurs, resulting into the climate extremes. And the other impacts that can be seen is directly to the human health. During the climate extreme, it itself, people become more vulnerable to the diseases, and the impact on human health can be seen. But due to the increase in the temperature, due to the changes in the climate, the heat stroke can be felt by the people. So there will be more amount of the people who will be affected by the increase in the temperature. As there will be increase in the temperature, there can be the increased risk of spread of the disease. The data suggests that the malarial disease that has been will also increase and reach to the different part of the world where it has not been previously seen. The scientists also have estimated that the viruses like Ebola will reach to the more parts of the world. And if we talk about the recent example of coronavirus, it can also be somehow linked with climate change. Since we are destroying the forest and the natural habitats of the wildlife, we are being more nearer to the wildlife. Means we are being more connected to the wildlife due to the destruction of their forest and their natural habitat. And if we see, the 75% of the new infectious disease are genetic, means they are transferred from the animals. So the increase in the new amount of the disease are indirectly related with how we interact with the wildlife systems and their habitat too. And talking about the effects on agriculture, a small amount of positive effect can be seen on the field of agriculture. Like for the crops that require higher amount of heat, they can have higher production. But talking in overall, the climate extreme like flood and landslide are surely going to impact on the food that is being grown. And it will also have the impact on the agricultural chain of producing to export and taking it to the market. Along with that, there will be scarcity of water resources as well. So talking about the recent examples that has been related to climate change is locust swarm and wildfires. Locust swarm has been recently seen in South Asian region as well, to the countries from Pakistan, India, and Nepal too. But initially, locust swarm started from the deserts in the Horn of Africa. How did the locust swarm initially start? While studying the detail about it, we came to know that the increase in the locust swarm was directly related with the amount of the rainfall that falls in the area. Talking about the Kenya, it has experienced the largest amount of locust swarm in the last 70 years. And what the precipitation rate showed that the Kenya experienced the 400 amounts of more rainfall than the previous time. So which has resulted into the favorable climate for locust swarm to increase. For locust, precipitation and the green vegetation are directly related with increase in its normal and its gregarious nature. So as the amount of rainfall increases, it became the more suitable for locusts for the migratory region and for it to provide the more breeding as well. So locust swarm is directly related with the Indian dipole moment happening in the Horn of Africa, and it's migratory due to the unprecedented climate activities that supported it during its migration with the heavy rainfall to the different parts of its migration. And the next example we can see is wildfires. I think everyone might have heard about the wildfire that took place in Australia at the beginning of this year. So the climate activists and the climate scientists believe that wildfires are directly related with climate change. As there will be increase in the temperature of the earth, there are more likely that the wildfires are going to increase. The hot waves that comes into the region as well as the drought that occurs into the region are directly related with the increase in the wildfires. So as the impacts of climate change increases within the years, the wildfires will be increasing. The recent wildfire that was seen in Australia was the biggest wildfire till date. So the scientists there have predicted that the wildfires are directly related with the climate that existed in that area, and the change in the climate was the main reason enhancing it to be the bigger and impacting more people. And the next example we can see is of drought and the over rainfall. This is the easiest example that we can see, and we can experience it as ourselves as well. Talking over the few years back to the current ratio, there has been drought for the longer period of time, and when the rainfall occurs, the rainfall has been occurring into the huge amount. If you see the graph being projected in 2018, the global hotspots for flooding has increased, as well as the global hotspot for drought also has increased. The graph shows the 50% less northward rainfall can be seen in the different parts as well as the drought that is being experienced, the 50% more than the normal. So we can clearly see that the whole world has been impacted by the change in the climate, resulting into the flooding as well as the drought. So from all these evidences, what conclusion we can come into is there is one world, but we have two futures. And who is going to decide what the future is? It is us, the human. If we talk about how the climate and our planet will be, we'll have two choices. Whether we'll like to live in a healthy planet or will like to live in a burning planet and live on more planet for our future generation. The first choice is you live the way we are living now and degrade the environment and create a burning planet where we can have a max action in the future with no organisms being living on the earth. Or the next option is we'll be investing ourselves into the environment and creating a better future for us. The activities and the actions that we will be taking now will not only for us and the current generation, it will be for our future generation as well. So the impacts that we have been facing due to climate change is severely going to increase in the future as well. So it is our generation that has to take the actions and decide how our future generation will be and what they will be living. So talking in short description about the introductory session, the main causes that has been seen in the recent year is increased in the amount of burning fossil fuels, which has increased into the release of amount of carbon dioxide and increased rate of deforestation, which has resulted into increase in the temperature, rise in the sea level, and increase in the extreme climatic events and the natural disasters, as well as melting of the ice sheets and the glaciers. So due to the causes and the outcome of this reason, we have seen the various consequences like loss of the habitats and the biodiversity. If we know 4 animals currently that you have seen, the scientists have estimated that among the 4 animals that you have seen currently, after 2030, you will be only able to see 3 of them. Means 1 of them will be getting extinct. Over 1 million of the plants and animals are already into the vulnerability of climate change. Means they are likely to be extinct within coming years. Means only they will be recorded will be in the history and the pages of books and the images, and those wildlife will be already extinct. As you know, the climate as well as the ecosystem is interrelated. So the extinction of one animal or the one creature organism is directly related to the whole ecosystem. So the impacts can be seen in the whole ecosystem. And as we can see the impacts being offered to the agriculture sector as well. Agriculture sector is directly related to the climate, be it the water amount it requires or the rainfall it requires for the production system. So climate change is surely going to impact the amount of the production in the agriculture. And as the temperature increases, there is more likely that the amount of the pure water that will be available to the people for drinking as well as for using it to the agriculture production will also decrease. So there will be shortage of the water as well. And as we have already discussed earlier, we will be seeing various impacts on the human health, which will have impact on the human livelihood. And due to the increase in the amount of climate related disasters, there will be conflict created around and the migration rate to the safer place will increase. As the population will be higher to the newer places, more conflicts and the more migration results into the most newer problems as well. You might have been bored listening with so many effects, impacts, and the consequences of climate change. So now we'll be moving into an interactive session called as EcoVoice. Before clicking on the link that will be available in the chat box, I want all the participants to listen it carefully what this session is really about. This session is about your voice for the planet. As we have already discussed, what are the impacts, what are the causes, and what are the consequences of the climate change. We'd like you to share what you think climate change is, what are the experiences that you might have experienced due to the impacts of climate change in the link that is being provided on the chat box. After you click on the link that is being provided on the chat box, you'll be redirected to the Google Jamboard. It is the new feature of the Google, where as you can see, if you click the link, you will be redirected to the page as you can see in the screen. And there are different numbers already been included. What you have to do is you will be clicking the link and you will be redirected to this page. And you have to include your voice for the planet, like what climate change is, or what are the experiences that you have been filled in a very short sentence. For that purpose, you have to double click on the every number that has been already created. This makes sure that all of you do not coincide on the same number, because as you can see here, you can click on the number and change into the different places. So there are more than 80 spaces for you to enter your answers. As we have already said in our earlier post, that we'll be awarding 3 of the participants with most enthusiastic and the active performance in the workshop with the certificate of climate warrior. So your answer will also be a key point deciding for that award. So I request all the participants to click on the link that is being provided on the chat box, to which you will be redirected to the Google Jamboard, where you will be sharing your voice. Please note that do not coincide with the other participants clicking on the same number. There are more than 80 available spots for you to enter. So you can enter more than one space as well. I request all the, if any of the participants is having problem for accessing the link being provided in the chat box, you can leave your message directly into the chat box so that our volunteers will include it into the Google Jamboard. Now I'm sharing my screen with the Google Jamboard to see what you have written. Also, I'll be describing in short how you will be using the Google Jamboard for the other problems. As you can see the different features on the left, these are the available features for you to include a voice into the Google Jamboard screen. I have already used sticky notepad, which you can use using Control, Shift and P if you are using it laptop, or click on the 4th item on the list. If you click this, you'll be having a sticky notepad, as you can see on the screen. And if you double click on each of the sticky notepad, you can edit your voice. Also, I'll request all the participants to include their name after their message being created. All the participants, please try to include your name after the message you write. A humble request to all the participants. You can double click on the list and you will be allowed to write your echo voice. If you are having problem using the echo voice, there are several screens being available. So you can click, you can join to the next page as well to write your voice. As you can see on the top, you can move to the different pages and you can add a voice to the number you like. You can choose your favorite number. It is not necessary that the earlier you write, the more better it will be. So we can already see the participants have written few of their ideas. Also, a humble request to all the participants, please include your name in the message that you will be writing. You can include more than your 1 point or 2 sharing your echo voice. And also, I'd like to remind it again, the message you'll be sharing will be evaluated for choosing the 3 most enthusiastic participants for the award that will be given to you after the completion of the workshop as climate warrior. If you are having trouble sharing your message in the Google Jamboard, you can directly leave your message.
Jay, ka muna dito, Jay. May link kasi dito, oh.
If you're having any problem connecting to the Google Jamboard, you can leave your message to the chat box as well. We have our volunteers who will be adding your message to the Google Jamboard. And please don't remain yourself in the first page as well. You can choose the other pages to register your voice. And as you can see, you can also take your sticky notepad to the different places as you like, as well as you can also increase the size and decrease the size of your message. We'll be having very limited time for doing our interactive session. So I request the participants to keep their voice as fast as possible. Also include their name. We'll be waiting for a few more minutes for this interactive session. Then we'll be moving into the next session. I'd like to read the few of the voice that has been recorded by our participants. We can see Sophia has written, we as stewards of the planet should realize by now what are the effects of not protecting our planet. We should always protect our home. I encourage you to write more of the problems that you have been facing or the message that you want to give to the world about what are the impacts that you have been facing or what climate change really is, or what are the causes of the climate change that you have been experiencing in your daily life. Try to be as creative as possible, sharing your message. Instead of resizing your message to the larger size, please refer to other pages as well to sharing your message. Please try to include your full name for all the messages you will be sharing. We'll be waiting 1 more minute for you to share your voice for the planet. Also a gentle reminder once again, if you are having any trouble using the Google Jamboard, you can share your message in the chat box as well. You can share more than one message or your eco voice if you would like. We're now getting back into the session. You can keep your voice being added to the list during the session as well. And the next session we'll be moving into is climate quiz, where you'll be asked few of the questions related to the climate, and we want to hear the answers from you. So for this session, we'll be using chat box to hear your answers. So after the questions being displayed on the screen, we request all the participants to answer the questions into the chat box directly. So the first question related for our climate quiz session is identify this person. She is a very popular person and a climate activist around the world currently. So our first climate question is identify this person. I request all the participants to put their answers into the chat box. We'll be only waiting for a few minutes for you to register your answer into the chat box. Please keep in mind that your activity during this session will also be being viewed and will be recorded to choose the 3 eco warriors of our workshop. So please keep your answers flowing in the chat box. So our first question is identify this person. Who is this person? A young girl who has been very popular in the world currently due to her climate actions. You can keep your message flowing on the chat box with the answers. I can already see many of the participants have written the correct answers. So we'll be going directly into the answer of this question. You can clearly see on the chat box itself, the correct answer is Greta Thunberg. She was born in 2003 and is a Swedish environmental activist who worked to address the problem of the climate. At her young age, she felt that climate is changing in this world and we need to take actions. But the people around her did not believe. So she standing alone, taking the actions and standing in front of the House of the Parliament, asking for the climate actions to be taken by the government. And she instantly became popular around the world with her campaign called Friday for Future. It is also called School Strike for the Climate Change. So this climate was founded in 2018 by Greta Thunberg, which is popular in the around the world currently. It is said that she says that we need to remind the world that climate is changing and the people should be aware that the action for the climate change is necessary. And her recent actions about carbon neutral crossing of the sea is also very popular. She was asked to join a conference in New York in September 2019. She could have chosen a medium of air to fly into that places within few hours. But what option should choose is she chose the boat. The name of the boat is Malaysia 2nd. It was equipped with solar panels and the underwater turbines. So she used the boat to move from her resident to the place of the conference. And it is also known as carbon neutral transatlantic crossing, since she did not use the medium which required, which produced carbon dioxide during the moment. So her journey was also very popular. And our next question is, how many countries have ratified the Paris Agreement? United Nations Paris Climate Agreement. For the Paris Agreement, the world leaders met in 2015 in Paris and signed an agreement called as Paris Agreement, which came into effect in November 2016. So currently, how many countries have ratified the Paris Agreement? To give you a hint, there were 197 parties joining the Paris Agreement and 195 signatories of the Paris Climate Agreement. But the question is, how many countries have ratified Paris Agreement? All of the countries have not ratified the Paris Agreement. Some of the popular carbon producing countries which have not ratified the Paris Agreement are, I think, Iran and Turkey, I guess. So all of the countries have not ratified the Paris Agreement. So I see most of the people doing the answers in the chat box. Only the hint 197 was given for the parties that were involved in the Paris Agreement. So, but the question is, how many countries have ratified the Paris Agreement? So please keep your answer flowing. The answer that I gave you was the countries which had signed the Paris Climate Agreement in the 2016. But the question that I have been asking is, how many countries have ratified? Again, they have ratified the agreement that they signed in 2016. Talking about the Paris Agreement, it was the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, dealing with the greenhouse gases, mitigation, adaptation, and finance. Before the Paris Agreement came into effect, there was a Kyoto Protocol signed in 2004 that dealt with the contents of climate change. We have seen various answers coming into the chat box, but we will not be sharing the answers of this question with you currently. We have a different section called climate facts, which we'll be having later on, and the answer of this question you'll be getting during that session. So we'll be moving into our third question. Which SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, deals with the climate change? As you know, there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which the United Nations has provided with the aim that we'll be achieving those Sustainable Development Goals within 2030. There are currently 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So among those, which Sustainable Development Goals deals with the climate change? You can list its name in the chat box or the goal number. Like the goal number 2 deals with zero hunger. So goal number 2 is related with zero hunger. So which is Sustainable Development Goal? As you can see, I can show you the figure. The image with the green eye with the earth in between is the symbol that has been created for the Sustainable Development Goal dealing with the climate change. So which is the Sustainable Development Goal that deals with the climate change? You can keep your answers coming into the chat box. You can say which goal number is it related to or what its name is. So as we can see already in the chat box, the correct answer is climate action, the goal number 13. The goal number 13 of the Sustainable Development Goals deal with the climate action. Since the climate change is happening, so climate action is also very necessary. So this is a time for a call to the action for all the young change makers around the world who want to make a sustainable environment and create a better future for the current generation as well as future generation. So we'll be discussing about what the climate change action is all about in our second session. So why is it necessary for us to take the climate actions? As we have discussed earlier, there are the several impacts seen due to the change in the climate. So every bit of the change matters. Every day matters and the every choice matters. A single decision taken by us can be or can create a huge impact on the earth. As it is said, a small ripples of actions can create a great history altogether. A small act will also be responsible for creating a great impact to the earth. So the climate actions is necessary from our individual level as well as our together and the group action of the people around the world. And before talking about what the climate actions that we need to take currently, we'll be talking about the global warming of 1.5 degrees Celsius. The Paris Agreement that was signed in 2016 had an agreement between the world leaders where they agreed to a common point called at the end of the century, we'll keep the rise in the temperature below 2 degrees Celsius, or we'll limit our actions so that we will keep the rise to only 1.5 degrees Celsius. But what the current rise in temperature suggests that we'll extend the limit of 1.5 degrees Celsius within 2030 itself. So seeing the current trend, there is very less chance that we'll be able to achieve our goal that has been signed in the Paris Agreement. So what is the difference between 1.5 degrees Celsius and the 2 degrees Celsius? The difference can only be seen with the 0.5 degrees Celsius in the figure, but the impacts are very large. The heat wave during 1.5 degrees Celsius rise in the temperature and the 2.2 degree rise in temperature can be felt with a huge difference. During the 1.5 degree rise in temperature, we'll have 14% of the world population being affected by the heat wave that is caused due to the increase in temperature. But if the temperature rises above 2 degrees, then that will be increased up to the 37%. And the scientists have believed that if the increase in temperature rises above 2 degrees Celsius, the main impact can be seen on the coral reef. More than 95% of the coral reef will be lost. Means they will be extinct from our ecosystem. So if just you can only a 5 degrees, sorry, 0.5 degrees Celsius rise in the temperature can create a huge impact on our planet. So climate actions is necessary. So what are the ways to manage climate change? We'll refer to the two options generally. One is mitigation and the next is adaptation. Mitigation refers to the actions that will immediately solve the problem, like limiting to the greenhouse gases and moderate the global climate change. Mitigation refers to the solving the problem. Like if we limit the greenhouse gases, the problem of climate change will be reduced immediately. But the next option is adaptation. Adaptation means to the activities that we do to accommodate ourselves with the changing climate. Like since the climate is changing and the impacts can be seen in the agriculture production, we can use tolerant varieties that can adapt to the increasing temperature, which will not reduce in the amount of the production of the food that we require. So mitigation and adaptations are the two ways. If we have less mitigation being adapted, the more greenhouse gases will be produced. Means there will be more serious impacts of the climate change. So if we have less mitigation, we need more adaptation required. And if you add more on the mitigation measures, we need less adaptation required. So the options are, first option is we need to move towards the mitigation so that we can solve the problem of climate change. And since we are already being facing the impacts of the climate change, there is no option that we can only jump into the mitigation. Directly moving into the mitigation is not possible. So the next option is adaptation. So we will try to adapt to the changing environment itself. As with the people being more prone to the drought and the flood area will be migrated to the new region. The new drought tolerant varieties will be brought to the agricultural system, and the remedies to the increased risks of health will be created by the medical sector for the adaptation purpose. So there are two ways we can act for the climate change. And what can you do to save the planet? The first one is plant trees. Planting trees can be considered as the best option for all the environmental problems that we have been creating. Majority of the environmental problems, from being to plastic pollutions to the climate crisis that is being talked around the world currently, planting trees is the best solution that can be applied by every individual as well and can be done at the greater scale. As we know that plants are the sinks of the carbon dioxide, so they play a major role for saving the planet. The next option is reduce, reuse, and recycle. You might be wondering, how is this 3R cycle related to the climate change cycle? It is said that 8% of the greenhouse gases is produced by the food waste that we have been throwing. So we ourselves, our small activities are causing more impacts along with the carbon dioxide that is being produced from the industries to the climate change. So if we can minimize our waste being produced with reduce, reuse, and recycle, we can reduce the 8% of the greenhouse gases contribution through the food waste that is being created through the reducing the impacts of the climate change. Next way is climate smart ways. There are serious adaptation activities that we have been adopting to adapt to the changing climate. And for example, there have been different agricultural practices that has come into practice, like climate smart agriculture. Along with that, other climate smart ways are our daily life activities. Like if you use a vehicle for a transportation which produces CO2, that can be replaced to the electric vehicles, or you can use a carpooling service as well, giving lift to the people if you are traveling alone. Or you can use a bicycle. Bicycle, it would be a healthier attempt for yourself as well, for the planet as well. So if you adapt to the different climate smart ways of living, you can help to save the planet. And the next one is raising awareness, the most important one, because climate actions cannot be solved by the individual level of actions only. We need the government and the higher bodies to take action as well. So what we need to do is we need to raise awareness among the people that climate is changing and we need to take actions and make the responsibilities bodies like the government bodies to take actions as well. There has been various movements like Friday for Future for raising the awareness and reminding the old leaders that we need all serious policies and the actions for the climate change by the old leaders. A Paris Agreement was one of the examples of those voices being raised around the world that we need the concrete solutions to the climate change. So the world leaders came into a common platform in 2015 to discuss on it and came into the conclusion that we will try to reduce our increase in temperature by 2 degrees Celsius at the end of the century. But that certainly seems very hard, seeing the current trend. Scientists have estimated that CO2 production should be limited to almost zero or below that. It means negative production of the carbon dioxide for us to achieve the goal of 1.5 degrees Celsius. So we need to raise our voice because although a Paris Agreement was signed, the activities around the world have not stopped. So our future is in critical danger. So we'll talk about the different strategies to combat the climate change from the local level to the national level. First one is the adaptation measures that we can take. The next one is the policy measures. The policy measures that can be taken by the government. Like if we talk in the case of the Nepal, we have two different policies, NAPA and LAPA. NAPA refers to the National Adaptation Program of Plans and LAPA refers to the local adaptation plans of actions, which deals with the activities to reduce the impacts of the climate change in the Nepal. Likewise, we can create the most efficient and the maximized system of the energies in our places using eco-friendly measures and reduced in the amount of deforestation and increase in the forest size is a best option that we can adopt to address the climate change. A fact also says that deforestation is directly linked with 31% of the disease outbreak as well. So deforestation has been a major problem, which has led us to the different other problems as well. We can see the different problems are interrelated with each other. So our common solution for them is we need the actions from the individual level, from transplanting trees to reducing deforestation, as well as from the government level. And the next policy that the government need to adopt is the carbon taxation policy. Like the countries which produces the higher amount of the carbon dioxide should be able to pay the large amount of the tax to the world, not only to the country, to the world. Because if you see the example of Nepal, Nepal is currently producing only 0.027% of the greenhouse gases. So its contribution is less to the climate change globally. But if we talk about the impacts, Nepal is among the fourth vulnerable country to the climate change. So there exists a topic called climate justice. The countries which are already producing the higher amount of the carbon dioxide should adopt the policies of the carbon taxation and provide the fund to the developing countries so that they can adapt to the more amount of the energy efficient system and more eco-friendly methods to protect our global home which we live in called Earth. And the next increasing topic about concern around the globally is meat production. It is said that methane is the second largest contributor to the climate change after carbon dioxide. And the methane production is directly related to the agriculture system. We cannot surely reduce our agriculture activities for reducing the methane being produced, but what the research have found that eating meat is directly linked with agriculture. So in regards especially to the beef. For cultivating beef, cultivating animals for the meat, for example, beef, have resulted into the large amount of the release of the methane. So if we can limit our fooding system and replace meat products with the vegetable products, it can also help to reduce the climate change. You might be wondering, how do you start a climate journey? You need to start it with awareness being raised among the people as well with yourself as well. You need to be aware that the climate is changing and you are also a responsible person for it to take the actions. How can you start is you can write climate related articles, blogs, or you can just post it in your social media accounts to avoid the other people, like they are also responsible for taking the climate actions and they should be aware about the climate of the world is changing currently. And the next point that you need to be aware is you need to choose the climate smart actions and activities that are not responsible to climate change. Means you need to reduce your carbon footprint. Carbon footprint refers to the amount of the carbon dioxide that you have been liberating by utilizing to the services of your daily life. So if every individual on the earth reduces their carbon footprint, it will surely be an impact being created. So the next step you can follow is take actions. And the third step you need to follow is participate in the climate related campaigns and the events. There are several climate related activities going around the world. From a small campaign online to avoiding people to a great campaign to avoiding the government bodies to take the small actions, they all fall on your participation, depends on your participation. So you need to raise your voice to start a climate journey. And we have, for the next session, we have the experience sharing session by few of the climate activists around the world. Let's see what they have to say about why you need to take actions. The first person sharing the climate experience to us is Philbert Againo. He's a climate activist from the Kenya, as well as he was selected as 22 Global Young Changemaker by Youth Lead and is a Youth Lead ambassador. Let's see what he has to say. Dear participants, if you are having any problem listening to the audio of the experiences being shared, we'll be giving you the link of the experiences shared by all the experts during the session later with the link in email. And the next we'll be hearing by Beatrice Ann. She is the Director for Education and Advocacy for ATO Climate Educate Project. Let's hear what she has to say. As we have been having problem with hearing the voices and the audio, we'll be moving into our next session, and all the experiences of our experts will be shared to you via the link to the YouTube or Google Drive later on. So next voice we had was from Paul Ocht. He was the Hidden Eco Hero Award winner of 2019 and Eco Generation Regional Ambassador. So we'll be hearing all those experiences later. So we'll be moving to our next session, My Place for the Climate. For this session, again, you'll be redirected to Google Jamboard link. So you'll be having the link available at the chat box. So you'll be again sharing what are the places that you are ready to take to protect the climate in the Jamboard. So I request all the participants to click on the link and join the Google Jamboard to share your views. And for the participants who are having problem referring to the Jamboard link provided in the chat box, you can leave your message in the chat box only. We have our volunteers who will be sharing their messages to the Google Jamboard. So dear participants, so please refer to the link that is being provided in the chat box to open. If you are having problem opening the link, you can leave a message in the chat box. Also a friendly reminder once again, your voice during this session your message during this, your place for the climate during this session will also be evaluated for awarding you the Eco Warrior certificate after the end of the session. So please you can add a place to the chat box itself if you are not able to join to the Google Jamboard link with the provided link. Please don't forget to add a name at the end of the message. For using the Google Jamboard, please double click on the sticky notepads that are being shared on this your screen and add your message. And don't forget to add your name at the end. Also a friendly reminder once again, If the link is not working, you can try sending your message directly into the chat box.
Amy?
Brown.
Dear participants, please leave your place for climate. What are you ready to take the climate actions from your level? Reminder once again, please try to be creative while sharing your answers, as this will be a key evaluating point for you to be awarded with the Climate Warrior certificate. If you have trouble accessing the link, please leave your place for the climate in the chat box. Please don't forget to include your name at the end of your place for your climate. We already have messages coming into the Google Jamboard. Let me read a few of them. We have Julia saying, please do not replace the message that has been already placed into the Google Jamboard. Please note that all of your activities are being tracked. So do not replace the message that has been already been kept. Try to add into the new box. There are several blocks available for you to add your places. So we have Pooja Gawali saying afforestation campaign. Please don't forget to add your name after you write your place. We have Birendra Mohara saying, follow the rule of 3R always. I request the participants to be as creative as possible to share the place for the climate, actions that you will be taking to protect your climate from an individual level to the advocacy and the actions that you will be taking. Please feel free to share your places in the chat box if you are unable to click on the link of Google Jamboard. Once again, a gently reminder, after the workshop, you will be having an online assessment quiz, which includes 10 multiple choice questions, among which you have to score at least 75% to receive a digital certificate for your participation in this workshop. And for the 3 Climate Warrior certificates that will be provided to the active participants, your marks in the online assessment along with your answers during the My Place for Climate and EcoVoice will also be evaluated. So feel free to share your places and EcoVoice. You can share multiple places for the climate as well as multiple EcoVoice if you would like. So keep your places for the climate flowing. As we have already exceeded our time limit for the workshop, so I request participants to a little faster. After this session, we'll be moving on to an opportunity session where I'll be sharing few of the opportunities that are available currently for you to apply for those positions related to the climate change. So you can keep messages flowing for the places and the EcoVoice. During that time, we'll be moving into a new session. keep your pledges coming in the chat box as well as in the Google Jamboard. So we'll be sharing a few of the opportunities. So if you are interested in taking the climate actions and you have been already taking climate actions in your local environment, or you are interested to enhance your climate journey, so what are the opportunities being available? So we are sharing a few of the opportunities that is being available currently. The application for the Eco-Generation Regional Ambassador for the 25th Eco-Generation Ambassador is now open, and the deadline for the event is August 16, 2020. So you can visit the link of Punja Eco-Generation, punja.ecogeneration.org, and view all the elements is required for you to apply for the post. The next opportunity that is being currently available is IERI internship. IERI is International Environment Research Institute, which is located at South Korea, and it is a fully funded research opportunity for the participants around the world to apply their learning related to the climate change into the field of research and the environment. So this is a fully funded opportunity where you will be provided all the accommodation fee as well as your transportation and all the required expenditures and all out for the internship. To know more about this internship, you can click on the link of or visit the official webpage of IERI. And the next opportunity that is being available is for the climate expert from the developing countries. A recent application for the March session has ended, and the next will open in the 15th September. This is also a fully funded opportunity for the climate expert from the developing countries. These are the few of the opportunities that is being currently available to the global participants. Also, I'd like to add, there are several opportunities that is being available at your local level as well. There are several organizations working for the climate actions in your locality. You can join those organizations. We recently had the volunteer call for our Climate Educate project as well. Who knows, the participants from this conference will be the next one joining our team. Along with that, if you are a student of bachelor wishing to pursue research activities related to climate actions, World Wildlife Fund is providing the research in amount for your researches related to the climate change in different countries as well. So you can visit to the official page of World Wildlife Fund to know further about what are the criteria required to apply for those activities. And the next information, the key information related to the climate change is obtained from IPCC reports. So to see what are the climate activities, what are the scientists saying about climate change, what are the recent findings, you can visit to the official account of Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, and read the reports. And also have some of the recommended books that you can use to enhance your information on climate change. The recent books that has been published which enhances your knowledge to the climate change, like How to Give Up Plastics by Will McCallum in 2019, The Uninhabitable Earth by David Wallace Wells in 2019, Rising by Elizabeth Ross, and The Ends of the World. There are several other books available in the market as well. So if you find any environment related books anywhere, you might ask your friends or buy it from the market or the bookstore. So I request you to go through the books. Reading book is a good habit. It enhances your knowledge as well as it increases your eco-enthusiasm as well. So as everyone wants to be a hero from a childhood, everyone seems a dream to pursue and become a hero. Currently, you don't need to wear a mask like a Batman or a Superman to be a hero. You can take the activities to protect your climate action and be an eco hero in yourself. So don't limit your opportunities from being an eco hero, as everyone has the opportunity to be a hero. And we have some movies to watch recommendation. These are popular movies. Most of them you might have already watched. These movies have certain ideas related their story, how the climate impacts can be seen in the future. The Interstellar movie, which was one of the Academy Award winning movie, it had stated how the Earth might look in 2050 due to the climate change events. And the chasing corals shows the problem that we might face in our ocean. The Snowpiercer was the movie relates us with our climate change experiments fail seriously. We might move into the new ice age. And what are the impacts that are likely to be seen? And The Inconvenient Truth was an Academy Award winner movie from 2007, which deals with the political views of the climate change. So there are many documentaries available on YouTube related to the climate change, and these are a few of the globally popular movies that has related his story with the climate change. And you can also refer to different online courses. Some of the courses that I would like to recommend are from the UNCCE Learn. You can visit the official page of UNCCE Learn and participate in the various climate related courses. The courses available on this platform are free and you'll be awarded with the certificate as well. The courses available here are mostly self-paced, so you can find your eligible time and the free time and apply for those courses and enhance your knowledge as well as receive the certificate for your learning. So please visit to the UNCC Learn website as well. You can begin your course with introductory course on e-climate to begin it, as well as there are several other courses like climate change and health and the climate change policies, climate change learning from actions, and different other several courses available as well. So we'll be moving into the next session, which is climate facts. As we are already beyond our time limit, I'd like to move a little faster. So here is the answer to the quiz question that was asked in the climate quiz session. How many countries have ratified the Paris Agreement? The correct answer was 180 countries have ratified the current. As per July 2020, 189 countries have ratified the Paris Agreement. And the next climate fact that I would like to share is about the blue carbon ecosystem. I think most of us know, or you may not know, that a few days ago, July 26th is also was celebrated as the days of the coastal mangrove. So only there are 0.7% of all forests are coastal mangroves, but the amount of carbon they trap or they sink is 10 times much larger than the tropical forest. So as from the Climate Educate non-online initiative under the Climate Educate Project Nexus, we had the 65 online initiative under the blue carbon ecosystem, which is available on the YouTube, as well as the Facebook page of Climate Educate. You can refer to view more about the blue carbon ecosystem in that video and explore more on our natural climate allies. So please refer to the video that is being available on the Facebook page of Climate Educate as well as the YouTube channel of the Climate Educate. And the next climate fact that I'm sharing about climate vulnerability. Scientists have estimated that around 800 million people are in the direct impact, are vulnerable to the climate. About 11% of the world population is currently vulnerable to the climate change impacts like drought, flood, or the heat waves and the extreme weather events. And as the climate change impacts rises with the time, the climate vulnerability and the people being affected due to climate change are surely likely to increase with time. The next climate fact that I would like to share is which was the hottest year. And the data suggests that with every increasing year, we are experiencing a new hot year. 2016 was recorded as the hottest year till that. And the 2019 was the second most hottest year. And the data suggests that this year, 2020, will also be added to the list. As the temperature, as the year we are having, there has been the tremendous amount in the increase of the carbon dioxide. So there has been increase in the temperature as well. This decade, in which the recent decade in which we have lived, is the hottest decade ever recorded in the history. And in the last 22 years, the 20 years have been the hottest ever recorded decade. So we can easily see how the impacts of climate change has been seen on the temperature, and the impacts of the temperature rise will be seen on the amount of the rainfall, precipitation, as well as creating the heat strokes to affecting the different natural phenomena and the climate. So we have a case study of climate change in Nepal due to the climate, as we are already beyond our time limitation. This is available in YouTube as well. So you can refer to United Missions to Nepal to view this video on YouTube, as well as there are several documentaries related to climate change available on the YouTube. You can refer to those. So we'll be moving to a very short question answer session. So if you have any queries related to our webinar, you can share your questions in the chat box. So we'll be having a very short question answer session. So if you have any question, feel free to share in the chat box. We'll be able to take only few of the questions due to our time limitation. So we have a question from Shiksha Porajuli asking, how can we follow climate smart agriculture? So talking about the climate smart agriculture, agriculture is directly related to the impacts of climate change, as it is very related to the climate activities like water amount and the rainfall that we receive. So describing it in briefly, what we can do is we can adapt to the varieties that fits to the current climatic situation. And the different varieties, climate smart varieties, have been already been used in the agriculture, like drought tolerant varieties have been already introduced, flood tolerant varieties have been introduced, and different resistant varieties have been used. So climate smart agriculture will refer to use of those resistant varieties. For using the climate smart agriculture, the varieties that should be selected should be more appropriate for the climate that has been changing your environment. So you will be cultivating as per the environment that is being changing, not as for the previous crops that you have been using. We have a question saying, so after the crisis of corona and sorting most of the pollutants to the environment and the climate, is there any good effects for the climate so far? The answer is yes, but a positive sign was seen during the lockdown being imposed around the world during the pandemic of coronavirus. What the scientists have suggested that as soon as the lockdown ends, we are going back into our normal livelihood, and the production of carbon dioxide is more likely to increase as soon as the lockdown ends. So this can be taken as a change-making time period in which we adapt to the sustainable and eco-friendly way of adapting to the climate. So after the end of the pandemic or the lockdown, we should not return to our old lifestyle producing more carbon dioxide. So we need to adapt to the different strategies that are more resilient to the climate. So if you have few more queries, other queries, you can directly ask to us in our social media accounts. You can also ask in the comment section of the Facebook page of Climate Educate as well, or refer to me directly in my social media accounts. Here are a few of the links of my social media accounts. You can directly directly text me your questions, or you can also email us through the Climate Educate email, or connect us through Climate Educate page. So at the end, what I would like to say is green cheers to everyone for joining the conference. Carl, are you there with us?
Hello. Hello, Kushal.
Yeah, we have ATO President, Mr. Carl Anangse, joining us to put the ending remarks for the today's webinar, and we'll be having a photo sessions after his remarks. So Carl, would you please?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so good afternoon from the Philippines. I am John Carlos-Saga. I'm currently working as the Project Liaison Officer of the ATO Climate Educate Project. We are very much honored to work with the team from Tunza Eco Generation and our workshop facilitator today, Mr. Kushal Naharke of Nepal. We also give our special thanks once again to our participants from Southeast Asia, South Asia, Africa, and some friends from Europe. In spite of our situation, we are given this opportunity during this pandemic to learn from various platforms, and I believe that climate change and our role as the youngest generation provided with a responsibility to continue the fight for environmental justice and all other social issues that encompasses each other. We look forward to the outcomes of your learning from this session with new insights and learning experiences regarding climate change that you can share with your respective schools and communities. Thank you very much and stay safe. Back to you, Kushal.
Thank you, Carl, for your closing remarks. And thank you everyone for joining the conference. Now we'll be moving into a photo session. So I'd like to request all the participants to open their cameras for the photo session. Participants, could you please open your cameras? And also we'll be taking a picture with a climate sign. So I request all the participants to use the sign of C in your camera. All the participants, please open your camera and please show climate sign in your camera so that we can take the screenshot of your participation. A humble request to all the participants to open your camera and show climate sign.
All right, I'll take the picture. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one for the next group. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for joining our virtual workshop on Connect to Climate. I hope it was an exciting journey and a meaningful learning experience for you. After the session, you all will be provided with an email link for your online assessment quiz, in which you have to score at least 75%, where the questions will be 10 multiple questions asked with the facts or the learning that was shared during the sessions today. Thank you everyone for your participation. Thank you.